What I don't want to forget to say is that the dating market is not the only area of human life that is unjust. For example, the injustice on the labor market are much, much worse. Think of workplaces that are unhealthy because you have to do repetitive, boring, dull work, or of workplaces that are loud, where you have to bear a lot of noise, or think of workplaces that smell bad or that are dusty, or where the air is bad. Or think of workplaces with dangerous chemicals. All these things, or a combination of it. All these things should be abolished as quickly as possible with the help of robotics or radical transparency, open source and radically transparent software and data, so that no stupid office work, but also no stupid factory assembly line work or construction or mining or drilling, tunnel drilling work, excavation work has to be done anymore. Only, or also stupid logistical work in logistics that could be replaced by robots too. I think 70% of today's professions maybe not 70%, but now a friend of me has written me on WhatsApp. Maybe by the way, she's very tall and she's a woman, so she's actually very attractive. So I have attractive friends now in my friendship circle. So what did I want to say? What was I talking about? Yeah, all these. Yeah, about maybe half of the jobs that exist could be replaced by robots and a radically transparent society, so that people could do a lot of things themselves. They wouldn't need administrative people anymore because they could do it on the internet themselves. And also work that could dangerous or unhealthy or boring work, repetitive work that could be automatized, could also be replaced by robots. What is necessary for that is that enough people have a sufficient knowledge of robotics. Then these people could work in robotics and replace all these stupid activities instead of having to do them themselves every day because they didn't receive education in robotics. So this is also one of the reasons why I strongly advocate and demand robotic tuition, robotic learning environments from birth, so that every newborn has the opportunity to learn robotics just when it enters this world and when it is born. Of course, it also needs her or his mother, of course, this is clear. This is much more important than doing robotics, but robotics, when the child is open to learn something, when it is not sleeping, when it is not breastfeeding at its mother, it can learn with robots already. And when it is beginning to move, to crawl around, when it begins toddlerhood, it can learn even more and more. So the most important phase or period of learning is after birth and not at university, because when you are learning at university, you are old and your brain is already has already become inflexible. So most of the learning processes happen after birth, and our education system or education, I don't like the term, it's too outdated, our learning opportunity provision providing system should be adapted in a way so that children and also the newborns can learn as much as possible, with the goal that all stupid jobs are abolished within a few decades, so that nobody has to do stupid work anymore. Okay, thanks. This is much more important, because if I have to choose between being a short, fat and ugly guy who doesn't have to work on work that is not interesting at all, that is boring, dull, or even unhealthy, and be very good looking and have women from time to time that are interested in me, on the one hand, this would be one option, and the other option would be no, sorry, now I made a mistake. Okay, I'm making sure. One option would be an ugly guy that doesn't have to work stupid work, and the other option would be a beautiful man, beautiful guy, but who has to work stupid work for having a living. Then I would, of course, choose the first one, because I still prefer not having the chance to date very attractive women, and at the same time being left in peace from work that is stupid and dull and boring and unhealthy, than being a really good-looking guy who has a lot of women but who has to do really, really stupid, unhealthy, stressful work. No. So I just want to say that the goal must be that all people are not only very attractive, ultra good looking, ultra talented, ultra intelligent and able of doing a lot of things, many things as possible, but also that they are free of all this outdated and stupid and dangerous and unhealthy work. So that people are really happy and have a good life, and are at the same time have dating opportunities. Because happiness must be the pursuit of happiness, the maximization of happiness must be the goal of all politics. Unfortunately, most politicians don't do that. They are not interested in making the population more happy and content. And what I wanted to say, yeah, of course, I mean, in the longer term, it will also be necessary to abolish sexuality as we know it now, because it's totally outdated and it's no longer necessary in the age of genetic engineering, when you or eugenics, when you genetically engineer the offspring, preferably by gene editing, so that all traits are optimized. And in such an age, it's better to design the Belohnungssystem, the reward system in the brain, in a way that the maximum reward is achieved when pursuing mathematical and engineering and physics knowledge, instead of when doing sexual activity, as it is the case now, because our reward system is activated most when we engage in sexual activity, and this is outdated. What we need is a desire for science and technology, for acquiring knowledge in mathematics, science and technology and engineering. This must be, our brains must work in such a fashion so that the humanity progresses fastly socially and technologically in the future. Okay, and of course it's also important when genetically engineering people to ensure that they are altruistic, empathic, sociable, have a kind character, cooperative character, and not and don't do competition too much or in a wrong way. That they don't compete in a wrong way. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. As always, I have to say date and time. It's now at 23 hours, 11 p.m. in the very late evening, and 58 minutes. So it's 2 minutes before midnight. It's Thursday, 1st of November 2018. Thanks a lot for watching and bye.